Om Sai Ram, Om Sai Ram, Om Sai Ram. Sri Satchidananda Sadguru Sai Nath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Satchidananda Sadguru Sai Karnananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Satchidananda Jagat Guru Bal Yogi Raj Sai Narayan Maharaj Ki Jai. Sai Leelavati Mata Ki Jai. Sri Sai Satcharitra Chapter 8. Importance of human birth. Sai Baba begging food, Baija by service, Sai Baba's dormitory, his affection for Kushalchan. As hinted in the last chapter, Hemad Pant now explains at length in his preliminary remarks the importance of human birth and then proceeds to relate how Sai Baba bagged his food, how Baijabai served him, how he slept in the masjid with Tatya Kote Patil and Mahalsapati, and how he loved Kushal Chand of Rahata. Importance of human birth. In this wonderful universe, God has created billions, 84 lakhs according to the human Hindu Shastra of creatures or beings included gods, demigods, insects, beasts, and man. Inhabiting heaven, hell, earth, ocean, sky, and other intermediate regions. Of these, those creatures or souls whose merits preponderate go to heaven and live there till they enjoy the fruits of their actions. And when this is done, they are cast down, while those souls whose sins or demerits preponderate go down to the hell and suffer the consequences of these misdeeds for as long as they deserve it. When their merits and demerits balance each other, they are born on earth as human beings and are given chance to work out their salvation. Ultimately, when their merits and demerits both are worked out completely, they get their deliverance and becomes free. To put the matter in the nutshell, souls get their birth or transmigration according to their deeds and evolvement. Spatial value of the human body. As we all know, four things are common to all the creatures, that is, food, sleep, fear, and sexual union. In the case of man, he is endowed with a spatial faculty, that is, knowledge with the help of which he can attain God vision, which is impossible in any other birth. It is for the reason that the gods envy human species and aspire to born as man on earth so as to get their final deliverance. Some say that there is a nothing worse than a human body, which is full of filth, mucus, bulgum, and dirt, and which is subject to decay, disease, and death. This is a true to a certain extent, but in spite of these drawbacks and defects, the special value of the human body is that man has got the capacity to acquire knowledge. It is only due to the human body or an account of it that one can think of the perishable and transitory nature of the body itself and the world and have an aversion for the sense enjoyments and can discriminate between the unreal and the real and thus attain God vision. If we reject So, if we reject or neglect the body because it is filthy, we lose the chance of God vision, and if we fondle it and run after sense enjoyments because it is a precious, we go to the hell. And proper course, therefore, for us to pursue is the following: that the body should neither be neglected nor fondled, and should be properly cared for. Just as the traveler on a horseback takes care of his pony on the way till he reaches his destination and returns home. Thus, the body should never be used or engaged to attain God vision or self realization, which is the supreme end of life. Understand that though God created various sorts of creatures, he was not satisfied for none of them was able to know and appreciate his work. So he had to create a special being, man, and endow him with a special faculty that is knowledge. And when he saw that man was able to appreciate his Leela, marvelous work and intelligence, he was highly pleased and satisfied. White Bhagavad 11:9:28. So really it is fortunate to get a human body, better still to get a birth in a Brahmin family, and best to get an opportunity of having recourse to Baba's Sai Baba's feet and surrendering to him man's endeavor. Realizing how precious the human life is and knowing that death is certain and may snatch us at any time. We should be ever alert to achieve the object of our life. We should not make the least delay and make every possible haste to gain our object, just as a king leaves no stone unturned to seek his lost son. So, with all earnestly, we should strive to attain our end. That is self realization, casting aside laziness, swarding of noisyness. We should day and night meditate on the self. If we fail to do this, we reduce ourselves to the level of the beast. How to proceed? The most effective and speedy way to gain our object is to approach a worthy saint or a sage and Sadguru who has himself attained God vision, with what cannot be achieved by hearing religious discourse and study of the religious text is easily obtained in the company of such worthy souls. Just as the sun only gives light which all the stars put together cannot do, so the Sadguru alone imparts spiritual wisdom which all the sacred books and sermons cannot do. His improvements in simple talks gives us silent advice. The virtues of forgiveness, calmness, disinterestedness, charity, benevolence, control of mind and body, egolessness, etc., are observed by the disciple as they are being practiced in such pure and holy company. This enlightens their mind and lifts them up spiritually. Sai Baba was such a sage or Sadguru, though he acted as a fakir mendicant, he was always engrossed in self. He always loved all beings in whom he sought God or divinity by pleasures. He was not elated. He was not depressed by misfortunes. A king and a pauper were the same to him. He whose glance would turn a beggar into a king used to beg his food from door to door in Shirdi, and let us know how he did it. Baba begging food. Blessed are the people of the Shirdi in front of whose houses Baba stood as a beggar and a called out, "Oh my, give me a piece of bread," and spread out his hand to receive the same. In one hand he carried a tumbrel tin pot and in the another a joli or a chaupadari. That is a rectangular piece of the cloth. Chaupadari. He daily visited certain houses and went from door to door. Liquid or semi-liquid things such as soup, vegetables, milk or butter were received in the tin pot, while cooked rice, bread, such solid things were taken in the joli. Baba's tongue knew no taste. He had acquired control over it. So how could he care for his taste for the different things? Mixed up together, whatever things he got in the joli and then in a tin pot were mixed together and partaken by Baba to his heart's content. Whether particular things were tasty or otherwise was never noticed by Baba, as his tongue was devoid to the sense of taste altogether. Baba begged till noon, but his begging was very irregular. Some days he went on the few rounds, and another days up to 12 noon, and the food thus collected was kept in the kundi, that is earthen pot. Baba cats, dogs, and crows freely ate from it, and Baba never drove them away. The woman who slept on the floor of the masjid took some 10 or 12 pieces of bread to her own, and nobody prevented her from doing so. How could he, who even in dreams never warded off cats and dogs by harsh words and signs, refuse food to poor, helpless people? Blessed indeed is the life of such a noble man, such a noble person. People in the city took him in the beginning for a mad fakir. He was known in the village by his name. How could one who lived in the alms by begging a few crumbs of bread be revered and worshipped? But this fakir was very liberal to half heart and detached and charitable, though he looked restlessness from Outside, he was firm and steady inside. His ways were inscrutable. Still, in that small village, there were a few kind and blessed people who recognized and regarded him as a great soul. One such instance is given below. Baijabai's brilliant service Tatyakote mothers, Baijabai used to go to the woods every noon with a basket on her head containing bread and vegetables. She roamed in the jungles course after 3 miles of the course and trampling bushes and scrubs in search of the mad fakir, and after finding him out who fell at his feet, the fakir sat calm and motionless in the meditation while she placed a leaf before him and spread these things, eatables, bread, vegetables, etc. thereon and feed him instantly. Wonderful was her faith and the service. Every day she roamed at noon in the jungles and insisted Baba to partake of the lunch. Her service surpassed on her penance by whatever name we call it. It was never forgotten by Baba till the end. Remembering fully what service she rendered, Baba benefited her son significantly. Both the son and the mother had great faith in the fakir, who was their god. Baba often said to them that fakiri mendicancy is real, lordship riches is transient. After so many years, some years, Baba left going on into the woods and began to live in the village and take his food in the masjid. Hence, Baijabai's troubles of roaming in the jungles ended. Dormitory of a trio ever blessed are the saints in whose heart Lord Vasudeva dwells, and fortunate indeed are the devotees who get the benefit of the company of such saints. Two such fortunate fellows, Tatyakote Patil and Bhagat Malsapati, equally shared the company of his Sai Baba. Baba also loved them both. These three persons slept in the masjid with their heads towards the east, west, and north, and with their feet touching one another at the center, spreading their beds. They lay on them, chit-chatting and gossiping till late at night. If any one of them showed any sign of sleep, others would wake him up. For instance, if Tatya began to snore, Baba at once got up and shook him from side to side and pressed his head. If it was a Malsapati, he pulled him close, stroked his legs, and patted his back. In this way, for the period of 14 years, Tatya, leaving his parents at home, slept in the slept in the masjid on account of his deep love for Baba. How happy and never to be forgotten were those days, how to measure that love and how to value the grace of the Baba. After the passing away of his father, Tatya took charge of the household affairs and began to sleep at home. Kushal Chand of Rahata, Baba loved Ganpat Kote Patil of Shirdi. He equally loved Chandravan Marwadi of Rahata. After the demise of the Shet, Baba loved his nephew Kushal Chand equally or perhaps more. I looked after his welfare day and night, sometimes in a bullock cart, at other times in a tonga. With the intimate devotee Baba went to Rahata, people of that village would come out with a band and music and receive Baba at the gate of the village and prostrate before him. Then he was taken in the village with a great eclat and ceremony. Kushal Chand took Baba to his house, seated him on the comfortable seat, and gave him a good meal. Then they talked freely and merrily for some time, after which Baba returned to Shirdi, giving delight and blessings to the all. Shirdi is midway and equidistant from Rahata, and on one side south and the Nimgaon of the another north. Baba never went beyond these places because his lifetime he never saw any train or travelled by its strip. He knew exactly the timings of arrival and departure of all trains. Devotees who acted according to Baba's instructions given at all at the time of taking his leave fared well, while those who had disregarded them suffered many a mishap and accident. More about this and other matters will be told in the next chapter. Both to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Sri Satchidananda Sadguru Sai Nath Maharaj ki jai. Sri Satchidananda Sadguru Sai Karnananda Maharaj ki jai. Sri Satchidananda Jagat Guru Bal Yogiraj Sai Nana Maharaj ki jai. Sai Leelavati Mata ki jai. Om Sai Ram.